Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, August 9th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, Nvidia, Misty, Simsy, and PLTY. Even a little bonus Ulti coverage. How about that? We'll see if you guys like what I set up on Ulti. And if it's good, maybe we'll do it going forward. All right, let's get to it. So we'll start with Misty as usual. You know, your boy, M to the S to the T to the Y. How you doing? Let's see how we doing. Let's see. We're doing we're doing this. This is what we're doing. 1 million freaking trades. That's what we're doing. 1 million trades. So you know what? I'm going to bug you guys again. If you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. It goes a long way, I think. So they say. So yeah, Misty had a bunch of trades. All right, buy to close, buy to close, buy to close. But we're going to cover it in the file. Here's a buy to close put. So they closed out some of the synthetic. This was what, the 385, which I don't even remember that one, man. So many freaking trades. But we'll take a look at it in the file. If you're on, I think I saw the audio is working on YouTube, but if you are on X, then please confirm that the audio works. Sound good? Great. All right, let's get to the Misty file here. All right, so we're looking at the 385. So yesterday was August 8th, and you can see they closed out 2,000 contracts, and they cashed out, you know, just wait, why is that? Minimum. We don't want minimum. We want some. Just a cold 2.1 mil. Just a chill 2.1 mil on a rainy day. So, yeah, why not, right? But I guess because people were selling out of the fund, as you saw. Thank you, Clint Cook, for confirming the audio. All right, so let's go. Let's scroll down to the price change for yesterday, and then we'll go from there. MSTR, how to do yesterday? Well, it was red, right? Red day. We're due, right? We're due. MSTR went down 1.71%. Misty went down 0.93%. Hey, I will take that any day, right? Misty's just chilling at the 1915 range. So now what about the IV? The IV went from 52.24 to 52.89. This morning, it's showing 53.14. I'm actually having trouble now with my 7-day IV. It's showing no matching on all of the different formulas. So Alien, if you're listening, Alien on Discord, please help me out. Unless, like, this is maybe just a temporary issue, just like Google Sheets deals with on some of the formulas. I don't know, but I've never seen no matching. So that tells me maybe something's broken with the formula. Stupid pop-up. I don't know why this always comes up. But now I got to move my spreadsheet up a little bit. Just a little bit. There you go. All right. All right, so let's look at the trade and see what they closed. Beep, 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 beep. Let's go all the way up. All right, so yesterday was Friday. Friday is the expiration date on the contracts that they opened from the previous week. So they closed out anything left over for the week. So again, if you look here, open price, if the open price is red, that's a buy call. If the open price is green, that's a sell call. Difference is, obviously, when they sell a call, that's when, you know, their normal process, they sell a call, they get a collective premium, they make income for us. The reason that, and then the buy call, they're typically buying calls with a strike price higher than the sell call, and that the reason is in case they get blown through, that captures and limits, you know, the capped upside, if that makes sense. All right, but anyway. So in red here, obviously, these were bought calls. They made 14 cents and 3 cents per share on the way out. But again, these are just insurance protection, so I'm not going to really dive into them too much. The ones we care about, again, are the covered calls. Here you go, 5,000 contracts, 557 credit. They paid 256 to close it. Not cheap, but still, 256, that's a win, right? So the 400 strike was fine. They made a $1.5 million profit for that sucker. All right. So what else they got? Again, here's another buy call. They closed out 14 cents per share. And then, all right, so here's another covered call. 4,440 contracts, 402.50, right? So now this is important that we follow this. So if we look, again, MSTR price, 395. But yesterday, MSTR price was kind of moving up, down, all around, but the time they closed this, good timing, right? 81 cents per share. So that was a win, right? You go over here, that's a $1.5 million profit. Fantastic. Now let's go down here. Okay, here's a 420. 420, that's high. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is a buy call. So that's a credit for the buy call. So we'll skip over that. Again, there's just so many damn trades. So I apologize if I screw some of this crap up. All right, so here's another 402.50. Again, great timing on the closure. They paid 81 cents per share to close it. And it was a $1.7 million credit right there. All right, we're moving down. Again, anything in gray was covered previously. So if you guys get confused when I'm talking about this, I need to know if I'm going too fast, if this is too much information. Again, I go by whatever you guys say. All right, so now here's one, 256 to close the 400. Again, in the end, what matters is really, to me, at least in my opinion, like it's less than the credit. You know, it costs less than the credit. So they made profit on these two trades here. $400 strike. They made 1.2 mil on one and then 1.6 mil on the other. So again, check, mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, so what's this thing? All right, 397.50. That's a lower strike price. They paid a pretty penny to close that, 504 per share, which was more than the credit that they got. All right, so they lost 325,000 on that trade. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so let's keep going. All right, how you doing? All right, so here again in the mix is an 815 that they opened earlier, I guess in the week. 420, your favorite holiday. They're not closing that. They didn't close that, so that stayed open. So we go further down here. Here's a 405, 70 cents. Chump change, baby. You know, that's an $850,000 profit on that trade. Let's go down here, 2,500 contracts, 407.50. Again, higher strike, of course, chump change, 81 cents per share to close that one. Profit is 753,000. Again, I know this is a lot. For those of you that are live, please let me know if I'm going too fast or too slow. All right, so we got 5,000 contracts. Here's a 405. Again, 107 per share to close it. That's fine. We got 445 credit when we opened it. So this is a successful win, $1.6 million profit. Yeah. Right. So we're just celebrating little by little. Yeah. All right. So let's keep going. Again, they got some 815 expirations in between. That's why. But I'll gray out the old stuff and hide the old stuff. So for next week, we're not, going through the mishmash of. There's just so many damn trades. It's freaking nuts. All right. Anyway, here's a 405. They paid 107 to close that one. Good. Great. Wonderful. Because they got 570 credit to open it. So again, yeah. All right. That's $2.5 million credit profit. All right. I can see you guys saying, can you stop with the years? Yeah. Sure. No problem. All right. So let's see. Well, there's a lot here. Let's see. Let's keep going. All right. So here's a big bunch of crap here. I'm just going to do it all together, chunk it out here. So we got what? 52,000 contracts. That's a lot. That's a lot. A lot. All right. So what's all this here? What's going on here? Well, again, this is how much they paid to close them. What were the strikes? 400, 402.50, 405, 402.50. Okay. Every time they paid to close each one of these, it was less than the credit they got. So all of these are wins. We're showing win. All right, but whatever. How much did we make? That's what you guys care about. 20.3 mil profit on those trades. What the hell did I do? Did I do something? Why is this if this, what the hell? Again, I need to go through this spreadsheet because again, like I said, there's a lot of useless information. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. Anyway, let's keep going. Sorry, actually, I need to look for comments on the format. Am I going too fast or slow? Pace is great. All right, that works for me. What Nikki says goes. Third cup of coffee. No, I'm actually on my second. I didn't even take a sip yet, but you reminded me. Let me take a sip. You know what it is? That extra half hour, man. Instead of starting at 6:30, it's like perfect. I just can't do that normally because of work during the week. All right, so what do we got? 2,500 contracts, 402.50. Yeah, 30 cents, son. 30 cents. Again, that's where the formula is all screwed up. Not sure what happened here, but I don't really care right now. 567,000 on the profit on that sucker. All right, let's keep going. All right, so yeah, I mean, good day. Oh wait, here, yeah, we saw that was a loss. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, no, I mean that's it. That's it. Wow, that was not bad. Not that bad. That was not as painful as I thought. But you know what was painful? Plugging in these trades yesterday. I know, stop complaining. But again, it's some days like Friday, it's like, yes, I'm done with work, and boom, boom. All right, so let's see. Outstanding shares decrease? Yeah, man, decrease. Okay. Okay, decreased by 2.5 mil. Okay. People sold out. It's all good, man. You can't grow forever, right? So yeah, all right. So here's the recap of this spreadsheet. Misty price closed at 1915. MSTR price closed at 395.13. 30-day IV reflects 53.14%. 7-day forward IV, unfortunately, formula is broken. I need help. Outstanding shares 295 mil. Total net income, yeah, we got income now, 14 mil. Distribution 5 cents per share. Daily income, it doesn't even round to a penny, unfortunately, but daily yield 0.02%. And if you annualize that, sucker, 8%. Okay, we're getting there. We're moving on up, moving on up. All right, now we go to the MSTR Fund tab where we have some fun. All right, so let's compare the various MSTR funds. All right, so MSTR, again, it went down 1.71%. Misty went down 0.93. We know this. How did Winter do? Good. It went up 0.96%. We like it. We like it. All right. So how did IMST do? The Bitwise fund. It went down 1.3%. How did MST do? It went down 1.87%. And last but not least, oh no, I'm sorry. MS2 is not last, but they went down 2.03%. The last one is MSTW. They went down 1.83%. So the winner of yesterday, Misty. Good job, Misty. You did it. You did it, bruh. You did it. Is Bitcoin better than the dollar? That's my reaction. I don't know. I'm running out of reactions here. I couldn't think of anything. Plus, I'm rushing through setting up the spreadsheet. I think I got the oh, I almost got it in one picture. I kind of like so close here, so close. All right, what if I do this? What if I do 30? There you go. And then I go take that, shrink a little bit. Wait, come on. Why is this not? There you go. Oh, there it is. There you go. All right, now it's in one page. Look at that. All right, so Group D declares in 18 days on August 27th. So stay tuned for that. Suckers. All right, so payment information. Again, we have made a synthetic income so far. Recognized, realized synthetic income, 51 mil. Total weekly income, we're back in the money. We're making 14 mil here. So that's a total net income of 20. I'm sorry, I'm running 66 million. That's a total income per share of 23 cents. All right, so now if we scroll down here, we're going to look at the ROD-O-Mator. Again, this is our distribution guesstimate calculator we made. Work in progress always. The weeklies generated 5 cents. That would be a 3% yield if they pay that. Okay, that's not going to work. Extrinsic income, 49 cents, 33% yield. Okay, that's fine. Total net income, 23 cents, 15% yield. Yeah, too low, too low. 30-day IV, 78 cents, 53% yield. 7-day IV is broken. Gains, we're getting there. But unfortunately, we're still in the negative on the gains. So we really don't have any type of actual, I mean, we have to go with the 30-day IV for now. That's 78 cents, 53% yield. But again, it's way too early. We got time. Again, time is on our side. Yes, it is, because we don't declare for a while. All right, I'm adding the 7-day movement now to the Misty Holdings bucket. Only because I want to start covering the 7-day movement on all the funds actually at the end of the week. So this will be like a Saturday update. Saturday video update. And that way I'll remember, you know, because I can't remember anything lately. So anyway, so MSTR, this is comparing the Friday close price from the previous week to the Friday close price of this week, right? August 8th to August 1st. MSTR went up 7.21%. Misty went up 6.68%. So again, the gap is only 0.53% in MSTR's favor, but still, that's not bad. Again, think about covered call ETF, not bad at all. I think if you actually pull up the open price on the Monday, I believe MSTY did beat MSTR. Not counting the after hours and the pre-market hours on the Monday morning, but you guys can check that if you want. All right. So anyway, what are we looking like for next week? Up in her. Let's see. All right. Again, MSTR sits at 395. We are selling covered calls for next week anywhere from 3, 5, 6, 6% out of the money. I know, not that far. Kind of scattered. Really, it's going to be tough, man. If MSTR moons, guess what? Ouchie! But don't worry, I got some good news down below for you. All right. Again, they do have credit call spreads. They've been having them a lot lately because, again, MSTR, you just feel like Bitcoin, man. It's just going to go boom, 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 boom. In fact, this morning, I'm seeing a little boom, 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 boom. I don't know if you guys see the chart, but it does look up lately. Should I pull it up? Does anyone care? Let's see. Bitcoin price. Yeah, it's on the up and up, 117. I don't have to share it right now, but yeah, it's looking good. All right, so what about our synthetics? Again, we do have synthetics after all. Let's see. We have a 385, 390, 395, 375, 410. All right, and they expire September and October. Do we really care right now? I mean, not really. But is it worth money? Let's go check. Let's scroll down here, and we can see again. I break down the synthetics on MSTY. But most of them are worth money except the 410. It's a little behind. The ones that are worth money, if you count them alone, 30 cents per share. So again, nothing to get too ecstatic about, but hey, it's something. The value of the Misty Fund sits at 5.6 bill. The NAV, by the way, Ulti is 3 billion. Ulti is catching up to Misty. Are you scared? Are you scared? You may be, right? Maybe should I track Ultis on here to see like comparably what percent, the Ulti catch up, right? Is Ulti. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about it. All right. So this is what I want to talk about before. Synthetic contracts. Again, if you add up, I just add up simply the contracts on the call, right? Because that's the synthetic. It totals to be, I got to go back down now. 143,915 total contracts. They are selling calls on, check this baby out, 78,790. And again, I'm double checking my formula live with you guys because again, I'm highlighting here. Let's see, sell 15 to row 15 to 19. Yeah, those are the covered calls. So they're only selling covered calls on 54%. Again, we saw how tight those covered calls are. But look at this. Look at here. 45.25% of the fund is free. They're free. They're free from cappity doodah. They don't have to walk around with the caps. So if MSTR moons next week, don't sing it. Bring it. All right. So we welcome moon next week. Come on, moon. We got this. All right. Credit call spread. They're doing about 35% of the 35% of the covered calls have covered call spread or whatever you want to call it. Again, it's all fancy names for everything, but you call it whatever you want. But we call it the butt buddies here. They have butt buddies because they back them up if needed. All right, so how you doing at IMST? Let's see. Well, for next week, they have a lot of calls now, actually. Everything actually expires next week. This is unlike them. Now it's almost comparable to Misty. But their calls are 2, 3, 6, 15, and 18% out of the money. So that is the definition of scatter-to-do. So we'll see how that plays out. But they're selling calls on 81% of the fund. They were doing 100%. Again, I could double check my formula, make sure. Yep, I'm picking it up. So they were doing 100%. They now went down to 81. But it's all good, man. It's all good. MS2, on the other hand, I don't even see a holding on MSTR. Sometimes through the weekend, it's either they actually drop it or they don't update it. I don't know. But what kind of update is this? I really think sometimes they don't hold it through the weekend. That's what I think. I mean, we have to ask them. We have to talk. We have to talk to them about it, which we will at some point. But who the hell has time, right? So again, synthetic 35,000, right? Wait, is that right? No, there is no. Sorry, yeah, no synthetic, no covered calls. So forget about all that. All right, so let's move on to MST. All right, so MST again. We only cover this on the Saturday. They are freaking leveraged out the you know what. Look at this, man. Look at this swappity doo dah. Look at the weighting on that sucker, 160%. I mean, like, hello. And then they got another swappity doo dah, another 12%, totaling 172%. I mean, damn. I said, damn. And then they got some long calls in here. They got about what, 3,608 contracts, and then they're selling calls with only one strike, 407.50, 3% out of the money. But again, we'll see. The thing is, though, even if they get cappity doodah, they got so much damn leverage that they're going to move up. They're going to move up with MSTR regardless, even if they get capped. But that's why we track it to see kind of how it moves. But they are doing covered calls on about 78% of the long calls, in case you're curious on that. All right. Did they have I think we talked about their payment for the week, right? When did they declare? Yeah, we talked about their payment. Their last payment was what, 18 cents, 80% yield there. MSTW, again, this is, no swappity doodah yet. They're going to add a swap at some point. Again, I'm not really going to get into the holdings until they really update that to match kind of what their other funds are doing. But they did declare this week. I did update that. They paid, or they will pay 78 cents. I believe actually their X date is the Monday, I believe, because I think they declare on the Friday. Yeah, they declare Friday, X date Monday. So payment date is probably Tuesday. But they declared 78 cents. Again, this is MSTW, and that's a 102% yield. I mean, damn. I mean, goddamn. I mean, hello. But yeah, is that? Oh, that's based on this days. Am I calculating that right? D28 divided by C. Oh, that's the number of days. Should say 7 actually. It should always be 7. Actually, let's just make this simple, right? We do equals this times 52 weeks divided by the price at declaration. There you go, 87%. That's more like it. And then we'll drag that down to here, and then it'll work. We got to get like an if error in there, though. It doesn't matter. We don't have to do that now. All right, so that's the update on all the Misty funds. And so we're done. Now we can move on to TSLY and see if they had trades and go on from there. Again, this is a longer video because it's Saturday and everyone had freaking trades. I'm assuming all is good. We got 477 of you listening live. Thank you all for being here. Again, I more than likely do questions at the end of the video in order to not disrupt the coverage, because there is a lot of coverage, and I completely understand. So let's look at TSLY. By the close 658. Yeah, that's a little yucky doo dah. By the close 1135. Yeah, they're getting capped, man. 950. Oh boy, 945. Yeah, cappity doo dah this week for TSLY. 699, 762, 1062. Oh boy, 1128, 1239. Okay. Yeah, they got capped. All right, they got capped on their the covered calls. Obviously they got blown through, but they did sell calls. They did have covered call spreads, so you see they made like 16,000 on that. Again, not much because they didn't go. It was the Friday, so whatever it is, it is. I'm sure they didn't make much on those. So in the end, for the day, TSLY did lose about 17.8 mil realized net loss for the day. All right, so what about TSLA versus TSLY? TSLA went up 2.24%. TSLY went up 0.78%. I mean, I didn't even look at this, but this is this is a damn shame, to be honest. So I guess, just rough timing with Tesla going up. But yeah, man, 34% capture. Nothing else to say but suckity doo-dah, man. Cappity doo-dah. Cappity doo-dah. Cappity day. All right, let's take a look at next week. We gotta look at something else, right? Instead of that cappity doo-dah. Well, not a good start. Their 330 is already almost in the freaking money. It's 0.1% out of the money. And then they got a 2% out of the money, 3% out of the money, 4% out of the money, 5% out of the money, and a 6% out of the money, and lots of credit call spread. So they may have to close these out early on in the month. If Tesla goes up Monday, are you kidding me? You see that? Stupid spreadsheet. All right, let me refresh. Okay. By the way, there will be a P break in my future. Just warning you now. All right, so what the hell is this? All right, so they got, like I said, if Tesla goes up Monday, oh my God, freaking whatever. If Tesla goes up Monday, they are probably going to close these out early and roll them up. All right, up. All right, anyway, I'll try this one more time because this is getting very annoying. How's their synthetic doing? Well, it's not updating. This is wonderful, isn't it? Wow. Okay, we'll have to come back to you. How's Nvidia? Why is that not even there? Oh, there you go. Something works. 200. Are you back? No, you're not back. All right. So we got to jump to Nvidia, and then I'll finish freaking Tesla later. All right. So let's see if Nvidia had trades. What's up, Nvidia nerds? How you doing? How you doing? All right. So what do we got here? Buy to close 56 cents. Okay, that's good. Not 319. That's not good. Got blown through on that one. 7 cents. That's good. 6 cents. That's good. 318. That's not good. 57 cents. That's okay. All right. They overall for the day they made 157,000. All right. Okay. Now let's go check out the movement, the daily movement. Okay, let's check it out. You ready? All right. Nvidia went up 1.06%. Okay. Nvidia captured 0.84%. That is a 79% capture. All right, we'll take it. That's close enough. It's not like 30%, like Mr. T to the S to the L to the Y. All right, so let's check out Nvidia. Open her. How you doing with your covered calls for next week? Well. You only have two. That's interesting. A 185 and a 187.50. 1 and 2% out of the money. I mean, talk about tight. But they do have credit call spreads, so I guess we'll see what happens, man. Now let's take a look at the synthetic, and they got two, a 165 and a 170. Nvidia sits at 182. So that is very valuable synthetic. Let's see how much it's worth. It's worth about 174 million or $1.60 per share. Cha-ching. All right, the value of the Nvidia fund is approaching 2 billion. You look at that, 1.9 bill, man. That's freaking nuts. Next week, man, it's going to hit a bill. It's going to hit a bill. Or, well, I better do it by what? Thursday, because next week is what? Declaration date for Group B. All right, so their NAV sits at 1788. Of course, the IVs are not working, but you know what? Screw these stupid IVs. We got income estimate. Income estimate is basically based on how much actual income that they made during the 4-week cycle, and they have made 270 per share during this cycle. If they paid out the whole 270, that would be 196% yield. Now, can you deal with that, sucker? So they're not going to pay that. Let's get real, though. They may pay $1. It's possible they'll pay $1. And if they do, that'll be awesome. And that will be a hell of a payment. And people will be happy. They'll be screaming, in happiness around, outside, running around the streets, doing cartwheels naked, around the neighborhood saying, I love Nvidia. The GOAT is back. All right. So anyway, we got Group B that declares in what, 4 days? Okay, good. So tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is? Guesstimate day. So I will guess what Nvidia is going to pay. And you will say, yay or nay. Okay, Tesla, check. Still not updated. All right. Up next, you know who's up. What's on your cone? All right, let's check out Coney heads. Let's see. Let's see, Coney heads. Where are you, Coney heads? Where are you? There you are. All right, so are you ready? Boom, boom. All right, so buy call, sell put, they're adding to the 320 synthetic. That's fine. They're adding a new position. All right, great. All right, so here's Coney. They buy to close 2 cents. That's a win. Buy to close 2 cents. That's a win. 3 cents. That's a win. 1 cent. Yeah. Oh, they're winning. They're the freaking winner chicken dinner for the day. In fact, they made 5.7 mil for the day in realized income through closing out old contracts and opening new contracts. Again, are we going to win the new contracts? That's another story. But for now, celebrate. All right. So let's go to the file and see how Coin and Coney did yesterday. Let's see. Oh, wow. Chill day in the neighborhood. Coin went down 0.08% and Coney went up. You love hearing those, right? When the underlying went down and the ETF went up, fantastic day. Coney went up 0.14%. So we will gladly take that. Good job, Coney. Good job. I know you've been getting your butt kicked, but this is a nice slow recovery. We'll see how it goes, though. All right. How about their calls for next week? How are they doing? Well, let's see. Their lowest strike is a 312.50. It's 0.63% out of the money. Not much wiggle room there. But if you go all the way down, their highest strike is 332.50, and that is 7% out of the money. So they are truly scattered-do, but is it enough scattered-do, right? It doesn't go up to the double digits, but do we need it? Do we need it? Is coin going to recover, or is it just going to continue to stay where it's at after the beatdown? We'll see. The synthetic wants it to recover because the synthetic sits at a 320 strike price while coin sits at 310. But again, the synthetic or the synthetics, they expire in September and October. All right. Synthetic ain't worth the crap right now. It's in the negative. So we'll just look at the fund value, which sits at 1.3 billion. The NAV is 724, trade price 726. IVs don't want to work, but like we said, screw them. Income estimate 126 negative, unfortunately. So, but they declare not this coming week, but the week after. So hopefully we can get some cash up in her. Don't look like it though, because the synthetic's struggling too. So we may just have to default to the IV. So on this one, we need the IV formula to work, but it's not being very friendly right now. So it's okay. We'll get it later. All right. Not last but not least. Next is Simsy. So let's go to the Simsy Shuckish. All right, Simsy Shuckish. Simsy Shuckish. Where are you? Where are you, Cletus? All right. So okay. Wow. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Why can't Misty have a day like this? All right, buy call. Okay, sell put. I'm sorry, sell call. All right. They added a position. 8,300 contracts. Simple enough. Damn, that's all I got. 63 cents. Weak sauce. Wow. Okay. Don't even show the out of the money. Again, nothing's working today, but hey, whatever. 406,000. I'll take it. Ching. All right, so let's look at how SMCY moved. There you go. All right, SMCY. Wow. I mean, damn. They went down 4.64%. SMCY went down 3.86%. I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that. All right, so let's go. Again, big down day, but SMCY did pretty good considering. All right, so let's look at the covered calls. This is for next week. And you can imagine after a dip on a Friday like that, they're going to look pretty good. Their covered call is going to be way out of the money. So let's take a look at this. All right, lowest strike 48, 7.62% out of the money. Highest strike 52, 16% out of the money. Great setup. Great setup for next week. So what I always say, like if Monday dips even more, I would say that's a nice chance to get a nice little cost basis, nice low cost basis, because they'll be so damn far out of the money. If SMCI goes up like 10%, even now, if it goes up 10%, they're going to capture a lot of that. And that's, again, this is like a great spot for, great spot to buy, in my opinion, always when you get to that spot. Not financial advice, of course, as you know. All right, so what do we got here? We got the synthetic. It's a 45. That's pretty much at the money. The 60s getting a little beat up. Borderline gold digger. Taking my money. All right. But we won't sing the whole song today. We don't even have time for that. All right. It's a busy video. The value of the fund, 314 mil. The NAV is 1662. The trade price, 1660. Synthetic, no, negative. So let's move on. Oh, we got one of the IVs working, 63%. IV estimate based on that, 81 cents. That is not, that is ew for them, actually. That's very ew. Well, again, the IV's low, the price is low, it's all low now. But they have an income estimate of bankity, bro. I'm assuming that is that even right? Again, we gotta double check. Sometimes I don't trust this freaking data. I'm gonna go down to Group D. Simsy, yeah, man, it's right. 1895 is the holdings, right? Shares that, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, 395. Hey, I'll take it. But Group D, they don't declare for another 18 days until August 27. All right, before I do PLTY, let's check TSLY. All right, TSLY's still not updated. All right, so let's see if PLTY had trades. I would imagine so. But again, they closed out their trades. Remember, they didn't have to do any trades. We thought the PLTY fund manager left for the beach. Let's see if he did. No, he came in. All right. Oh, what the hell? What the hell? What in tarnation? About to close 722. All right. I guess Palantir was going up again, but they decided to close out their strikes that probably got blown through and move it up. Right. So move up the 182.50 to 187.50 for next week. And then here the 180 to 187.50 for next week. All right. So they're going to eat this 3.7 mil in order to capture more of the upside for next week. All right. So let's see if Palantir did go up yesterday. I would imagine so. Yeah, it went up. It went up another 2.55%. I mean, is this thing like ever to be stopped, or are they just like an unstoppable force here? By the way, PLTY captured 2.28%. That is an 89% capture. So PLTY whooping ass here, man. Whooping ass. PLTY is powerful. It is. It's a great fund so far. All right. So how you doing, PLTY? How your covered calls doing? Well, not so good. In fact, I'm gonna win. Wait, are these the new? Let me double check. Let me see the trades again. 187.50. Yeah, 187.50. Wow. Even the new strike that they, oh my goodness, 0.29% out of the money. That's the highest strike. The lowest is in the money by 1%. So, wow. But good thing they do have credit call spread, so they may have to. If Palantir goes up Monday, you got to roll them suckers. You got to roll them. Anyway, how's the synthetic doing? Are you ready? Are you ready for the synthetic? This is going to be exciting. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 171 mil. That's how much the synthetic is worth on PLTY. How much is that per share? 20 stinking dollars and 34 cents. Their synthetic on paper is worth 20 stinking dollars and 34 cents. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine a $20 distribution? Oh man, that would break the internet right there. A $20 distribution. What do you think? Let's plug that in. $20. 333% yield. Yeah, let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Obviously, that's not happening, but it is fantastic to look at. That is for sure. When will they cash this out? Who knows? When do their synthetics expire? Actually, that's a good question. Let's go check. Their one synthetic, it expires next month, actually, maybe like 40 days away or so. So they don't have to do crap for now, but it is good to look at for the time being. All right. The value of, hold on, I got to take a sip of water. The value of the PLTY fund is 656 mil. The NAV is 77.89. The trade price is 78.03. Interesting. All right. Yeah. So again, it's a beast. It's a beast of a fund. Income estimate 239. They even have income, and they still got that synthetic in the backup. But by the way, guys, don't forget, I have to come up with a guesstimate this Sunday, tomorrow, on what they're going to pay. I haven't really thought of it, but I would imagine it would be 5 or more. I don't imagine it's less than 5. I mean, there's no way. Can't be. What's 5 even? What's 5? 5 is 83%. That's nothing. That's nothing. I don't know, guys. We'll see. We'll see what they pay. But again, So that's the update on PLTY. Again, more to come on the guesstimate as far as what they're going to pay. All right, you right, guys, ready for this? I added some Ulti stuff. I know, again, this is not going to be anywhere near what the ETF inspector does on a daily basis. So if you want the details, you still got to go to him. All right. This is not, replacing that. This is just my brief overview of Ulti on a daily basis. And let me know what you think. All right. So my plan is to cover two things. One is the inflow and outflow on a daily basis. So again, I'm just showing you here some of the trades they did for August 8th and how much they made or how much they lost. All right. So again, some notables, they lost on BMNR, right? Like 10 mil. That's a realized loss, recognized loss. Anything else on the high side on the income? Let's see, SMR made $6.3 million. Again, this is actual income through the trades, if that helps. But overall for the day on 8/8, I'm showing a $1.1 million loss. They made 11.5 mil on the calls, but they did lose 12.7 on the puts, netting that all together. But yeah, you can see the breakdown, like Palantir, part of it. Somehow, yeah, they closed out the put. That's interesting. See, now I have to double check it. So we got Ulti, we got the trades, right? Actually, I don't have to use, I'll just use this file. This is the current day trade. All right, so Ulti, let's go to Palantir. All right, so yeah, buy to close call. Oh, because they got blown through. Yes. So PLTY did lose what, 1.8 mil. I'm actually double checking my formula now. Okay, 1.8 mil. All right, at least I know it works. All right, and that's because their calls got blown through. They got Reddit, maybe they got blown through. RGTI made money at least. But again, this is just to track, how the fund's doing, to see if there's anything drastic, one way or the other. And then, of course, I do have another tab for Ulti holdings. So at any point in time, we can now check what they're holding, right? So you can see, like, down the line, some of these damn tickers, we'll probably have to add the formula to add the names too, right? So because some of these tickers, we don't even know what the hell they are. But, for Coin is 6.81% of it, of the holdings. Obviously, they got Hood in there. Who else? We saw they got Palantir, Upstart. Okay, great. All right. So maybe, again, maybe I will add the name here to the right. I didn't think about that. But that's kind of like two little things I think I can add to the daily, the daily coverage that won't really harm anything. So let me know what you guys think of this minimal coverage on Ulti, if you think this would be of help. All right, I'm going to get into my options trading, but before that, I'm going to take a quick break to go to the bathroom because I had too much coffee. But let me put on some music for you guys. I'm going to put on some loud music. Let's see what we got here. We got some rock. Let's click rock. We are back. We are back. We are back. All right. I'm gonna keep the music on super low. Super low. So let me know if it's annoying or not. But yeah, let's get into the options coverage. Oh, there's Scott. What's going on, Scott? And I will take questions as we go going forward. What happened? Bathroom break. That's right, Sunita. Sometimes, you gotta take a bathroom break. Hey, what can you do, man? We're live. We don't wear diapers anymore, right? So, although maybe I should have to borrow my son's diapers. We'll see if they fit. All right. Anyway, Misty, how you doing? Well, again, I didn't trade any sell any new covered calls on Misty, so no update there. So let's go right to TSLL. And if you look expiration date wise, there was only one call that expired yesterday. It was an 11. And let's see. Yeah, so TSLL, if you look, they did close at 12.13. I didn't want this 11 to get assigned just yet. So what I did is I rolled it. Obviously, it says rolling order down here. I did a rolling order. I kept the same strike price, but I chose an expiration date for not next week, actually, but for August 22nd. And for that, what did I pay and what did I get? I had to pay 120, so you can see up here, 120 to close out the old, buy to close the old. And I got a 155 credit sell to open on the new, right? So that completes the rolling order. So I got 35 bucks basically, and that's a 74% yield. So, because why not, right? I mean, is TSLL coming back down? I don't know. If it does, fine, whatever. If it doesn't, then these shares are gone anyway. So why not collect a little more premium on the way out? That's the way I look at it. And you can see again, my setup now. I got a lot of group. I got some group in here. So 8:15. It's not really that crowded. I only got 2 trades for next week. The week after, I got 4, and then 8:29, I got 5. So what's going to happen is next week, any trades I do, I'm probably going to choose an expiration date, the one after 8:29, and so on and so forth. Again, it's just been a lot easier to manage doing it this way. Plus, I could pick strikes that I want to pick. I don't have to be as aggressive, as I need to. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, I'll get into more details on this maybe on another video someday. But for the week for TSLL, I made $93, which I know is not a lot. But again, TNA kind of backed me up this week. And the ending is I own 800 shares and I have 600 with covered calls, 200 uncovered. So obviously if TSLL flies to the moon on Monday, yeah, I'm going to be selling calls. I only have 200 shares too, though, so I have to keep that in mind. All right, now TNA. So I don't know if you remember last week's video, but I got assigned 200 shares and I didn't even know it. Or no, 300 shares and I didn't even know it. Like a dumbass. These 3 puts, they all got assigned. Oh, no, they're not. Well, they're on another screen, but what happened was I sold aggressive calls because I got assigned 300 shares that I didn't necessarily plan to have. So I sold a call at 33 and 34. At the time, they were basically at the money. All right. And it was aggressive. And they paid me what? They paid me what? This. They paid me 205 bucks. Why not? And I was going to let it get assigned, collect the cash, and build up my cash fort in the account. But the greedy bastard that I am, I was like, you know what? They're going to get assigned. Yeah, it's great to get the cash, but you know what? If they get assigned, why not make them, do early assignment? Or why not get assigned next week or the week after? So I did a rolling order because I'm a greedy bastard and I wanted more premium out of these shares before they go bye-bye. So the 33 and the 34, I rolled them. All right. I didn't let it get assigned. And what did I get? Again, so to close out the old, right? I'll just just talk about the overall credit. I got 60 cents on one, 81 cents on the other. So I got another $141 for these shares. In fact, for the week, for 200 shares of TNA, for the week, I made $346. And in fact, that's all I did for the week. All I did was use 200 shares and I made $346 on those 200 shares. And it's really as simple as that. Like, you can't, I mean, it's amazing. Again, it's just, It's just easy money, man. Easy money. So what does that leave me with share-wise? Let's see. Well, I still have 600 shares, 400 uncovered calls, and 200 uncovered. All right. How much money did I make for the week? Let's go down here and check it out. I made $346. All right. So for the week, I made a total of $486. My weekly goal was 224. Obviously, I exceeded that by that and then some. So it's an excess of $261. So again, I'll take it all day, man. Easy money. Now, this was the worry, right? My cash position was low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this with you guys, watching. So I was going to update it in advance, but I figured it's good that you guys see the change. All right. So give me a second here. All right. So new balance as of, again, the close on Friday. It went up a little. It's 52,674. All right. Available cash went up a little because, again, I traded some options. It's 11,840.84. So my cash position really didn't move much. It's still at 22% of the balance. This is the part that moved because, which actually I didn't even cover it. I had 2 puts on TNA. Let me go up here. Right here, 2 puts. They both expired worthless. So I had where's the strikes? 33 and 32. TNA closed at what? 34. So obviously these 2 puts expired worthless, which means what? This 6,500 is no longer pending. So fantastic. So the fact that I had to keep that in mind, that really is what made the decision that I was going to do the rolling order, because I knew I'd have a little less pending puts in the bucket. So because I'm doing less and less puts as we go, because we're in a bullish market, but I'm trying to, sell covered calls mainly. But again, I'm limited because I only have so many shares. All right. So anyway, what's my new pending puts number? How much money is essentially on hold because of puts? It essentially got cut in half. It went from 14,000 down to 7,550. All right. So only, now 63% of what? Okay. Of the cash. Yeah. So obviously I have enough cash now for the puts that are pending. All right. What about my withdrawable margin? All right. So that went up too, right? So what did that go up to? That went up to, let's see, 19,919.84. So that's 37%. So I can borrow on 37% of the balance, if that makes sense. Trading margin, what is that? Again, this is the number that, how much I can do on margin on stocks, not counting money to withdraw and pay bills. But again, I pay bills out of this account, so I really only care about the withdrawable margin. I'm just showing you, if you didn't pay bills out of your account, this is what your margin would be in an account like this. No, wait. I was typing, nothing happened. All right, 66,401.13. All right, so that's kind of, where we stand. Everything's on the up and up. I have enough cash to support my puts. I'm not using margin at the moment, not even pending margin. So that's good. So that's really the reason I rolled it. I rolled those positions. Yeah, the market could tank next week and I'll be in the same spot, but I'll worry about that then. All right, I'll worry about that then. But this is kind of where I stand heading into next week. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on that. If you have any questions on anything I just covered, whether it be YieldMax, whether it be my options trades, let's have at it. We got time for questions. It's Saturday. We don't work on Saturdays. Well, we work, but not our full-time job, right? So, so yeah, what do you guys got? All right, Nikki, is that a question for me? On calls, you won't be assigned ? I need a class. Class is coming. Don't worry, class is coming. So again, it's coming through YouTube. I'm going to do things on YouTube, but I am starting to do coaching things. If you wanted to learn options, if you wanted to learn about spreadsheets. If you want to learn about high yield funds, I don't know. You want to learn about whatever. I'm going to send out a link to reserve a spot. If you wanted to do a coaching session with me one-on-one for an hour, I'm going to start doing it. I have to do it. I made an offer to the Wolfpack, the members of the Wolfpack. And now, again, I'm just kind of waiting to see if they are interested first. And if not, I'll put it to the public. Again, it's not something I don't really care if no one signs up, to be honest. But I'm just offering it because a lot of people were asking about it. So anyway, I don't know if that question was for me, Nikki. All right, let's go through the other questions. What do we got here? BTC is low. You call 117,000 low? I love it. Scott's here. Thank you for being here, Scott. You the man. You the man, even though you did too many trades yesterday. Yes, I know. I need to make a, what do you call it? A little series on YouTube. I would definitely when I retire, for sure. I'd like to do it before that, but again, there is honestly, like, I don't know. There's no time. I don't know how else to say it. There's no time. Why is when did MSTR go down when Bitcoin was up though? I don't. When is that question? When you asking that question? Wolf says, I used to do the wheel, but I am stuck in 2 stocks. Now I sell way out. So far, I haven't been assigned in 2 months, but I'm happy. Yeah, exactly. Do what you got to do that works for you. So even if you're like, say you started the wheel, you sold puts, and you got assigned, and then the stock kept going down. Now you can't really sell covered call. Like if you had no more money to sell more puts and average down, yeah, the one thing you could do is sell calls at the strike price you got assigned, but further dated, so you can still collect premium. If that makes sense. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I saw that. That was pretty sweet. 45.25% uncovered to be exact. We like it. We like it. All right, so let's keep going. Yeah, did Scott earn his weekend? I don't know. Should we give him some work to do on the weekend? Well, he's got to work. He's got to watch this. Make sure I'm making sense, right? Is Scott really YieldMax Scott? Yes, it is. Let's see. MSTR, folks. Yeah, that's possible too. Didn't MSTR hit 407 then sell off Friday? Is that well, if we look at under the weeklies, MSTR went down. Yeah, so was Bitcoin up Friday? Like during trading hours? Again, you have to compare open Bitcoin price versus closing 4 p.m. Bitcoin price. What was that? The problem is you can't look at the day on Bitcoin because the day is not the same. It doesn't show the market hours essentially. But I don't know. All right, let's keep going. I almost got assigned one Friday, 2 weeks before earnings. The man, the myth, the legend. Yep. We woke him up. Woke him up early. It hit 409. I question because my Misty is down 200. 200 what? All right. You're losing me, Nikki. Come on. Come on, Nikki. Have you tried options on any YieldMax funds? Is that for me? Yes. Come on, you gotta. Does that mean you're not watching my video? Yes, Misty, of course. I own Misty. I sell covered calls aggressively. You can't really get much premium unless you do close to the money, though. That's the issue. So if you're okay with doing close to the money calls or puts, then it might be worth it. Thanks, Scott, for making us all rich. Making us bank, bro. Bank. Love YieldMax and Scotty Too Hottie. Scott, do you like the nickname Scotty Too Hottie? With MSTR, even a 0.10 delta out of the money can get blown through in a couple of days. You need to pick up your days and manage it closely. Don't get greedy and hope it expire worthless, close to a 50% gain. In Rod We Trust. I love this guy. He's always saying that. He's all over the Reddit. In Rod We Trust. Retire abroad. It says, thank you for your work, Scott. Scott is definitely a legend. Keep up the great work. Look at that. All love for Scott here. No hate, huh? All right, good. He liked the wrestler. The question is, Scott, can you do the worm like Scotty Too Hottie? Because if you can, we'll have to get that, we'll have to have you do that at the next closing ceremony. Just like Scotty Too Hottie. Then I'll be Rikishi. Let's see. For newbies, can we start out by sticking to calls for a while before trying puts? Absolutely. That's what most people do, honestly. What happens is, the investors, when they learn about options, they typically already own shares. So what they do is they use their existing shares and they start to sell covered calls. And that's kind of how most people learn. But if you want to learn fresh, if you have like a cash bucket here, or obviously you could do paper trading. A lot of people do paper trading, which, most people recommend it. I just say I won't do it because I need the actual money. Again, I consider paper trading playing poker for no money, or playing like a fantasy football league for no money. Waste of my time. So I'm not paper trading. I'm doing real trading. That way I feel it. That way I'll learn. I'm not going to make a trade unless I really am certain of it. And if I lose, I feel it because I actually lost money. If I lose money on paper, then what the hell do I care? If I make money on paper, what the hell do I care? I don't know. That's my opinion on it. But anyway, yes, absolutely. So if you own shares of something and you want to learn, you can sell covered calls at a strike price that you're okay with selling the shares at. Of course, if it's worth the premium, it may not be worth the premium. But again, that's something we can cover if you want to, talk about that at some point. Let's see. All right, yes, he'll do the worm. That would be funny. I don't want you to hurt yourself, though, Scott. I do cash secure puts in the 20 Delta and collect interest on my funds. Look at that. Look at Retire Abroad. She's whooping ass over here. About to be retired. What, 3 week countdown? The final countdown. Yeah, love it. Got to see that. Yeah, we all do. Now we can't forget. I'm gonna have the song next time I see him. I'll have it on my phone. What is it? What the hell is the tag team name? Too cool entrance music. Z-dubs, I'm not interested in doing my own options. That's why I let Misty, PLTY, LFGY, YieldMax, and Ulti. That's a pretty damn good combo you got right there. Trade small with real money. So yeah, exactly. Do it on AMC, right? They're cheap, or some, cheap ass stocks. That's what I did. I did it on AMC. Then I lost a lot of money because I didn't know what I was doing. But you know what? I learned from it. Yeah, roll if you have to. You're welcome. Yeah, 3 weeks. I wish they had different type of music. There's very limited music on here. Can you guys hear the music? Or no? I'm going to turn it up a little. Can you guys hear that? Change the song too. I do some because even if Misty only has a total return of 58%, the rest deposit. Ulti and YieldMax combo is pure cash flow play. Bizen Tiger. I don't think I saw you here. All right, you can hear it. Is it annoying? Is it annoying? That's the question. I changed the song. I can't even hear it. So I don't even know what the hell the song is. But I don't want to make it too loud because you guys say it's annoying. But all right, we got 843 people, 844 people on here, including Scotty Too Hottie. Should we ask Scotty Too Hottie a question? Anyone have a question? Or you have a question for me? You have a question for any of the trades that we did, that were done? You have any question on options? I got, how much time? I don't know. Again, it's the weekend. Depends on you guys. Again, this is just like bonus party time here. 1,100 a week on Ulti. Bam. That's nice, Dragon Do. This is better. Okay, good. I like the music. All right, good. All right, yeah. I'm gonna start doing that towards the end of the video when it's just like chill. Obviously, I'm not gonna do it when I'm covering the details, you know, because most people, I assume they click off probably when we get to this point. They don't want to hear the jibber jabber. It's fine. I like piano. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, thank you. Cafe music now. You tell them retire abroad. Retire abroad. You should do a live stream. Retire abroad. Have some Q&A. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, we have 857 now. 859. Again, that's between YouTube and X, of course. A lot more people on X than YouTube. But Scott, when I did the interview, I forget the number. I think I told you it was crazy. So if I ever have you on again, we got to talk Christmas episode. I know that's far away, but got to get that in advance here. Let's see. I am beating the indexes, but I hate seeing the funds dropping. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's all good. Scott, any tips on how to learn and do options? Can't wait for Rod. Oh boy. He's the option genius. He may talk over your head. I don't know. Retire on dividends. That's great view number for a Saturday. Yeah, 6. That's the thing. I guess I would do much better if I started later. But again, I'm mornings. You know, even if I'm retired, I'm gonna do mornings. I'm gonna do early mornings. No one. Actually, there's not many. If you go on, especially on X, there's no one live. There's no one live on YouTube, right? This time. So this is my time. So. Does Scott remember his first trade? What was it, and did he win? We are dedicated. Yes, you are. Appreciate it. Question: MSTR had great earnings, and Bitcoin is up. Why is Misty still struggling? It's not. Where do you see that actually? If you look, okay. So again, I just showed you. Where the hell are the holdings? I'm in my options thing. Yeah, to the left. For example, Friday close to Friday close. MSTR, okay, yeah, it did go up 7.21%. Misty went up 6.68%. So that is definitely not struggling. I don't know what you're looking at, but you have to be specific, I guess. You're welcome, brother. I did my first Misty cover call way above cost basis. I bet you Scott doesn't like when I talk about Misty covered calls. I don't know. Maybe he does. I love saying I'm doing covered calls on a covered call ETF, right? On a Bitcoin, essentially, company. All right. I'll tell you some good trade stories next time I'm on. There you go. We'll do old school stories, old investing stories with Scott. That way Scott just tells us, with all the years experience he has, imagine all the good stories he has. So maybe you can give us like 5 good stories he has and then do a quick Q&A if I'm ever allowed to have you on again, right? So we'll see. Let's see. Looking forward to those stories. Yeah, you committed to it now, Scott. All right, good. I'm glad you like them. I thought you were going to yell at me for doing them. All right, let's see. Scott war stories. Yeah. War stories on the floor. Scott, did you have anything to do with this YieldMax Target X MSTR options income fund? Target X. Is there a Target MSTR options income fund? Oh, here's Rod with his requests. Oh boy. This Rod guy, you can't take him anywhere. Marrow. Again, I don't have the out of the monies, but I'll take a look at the synthetic real quick. We got 18 on the synthetic. How many contracts? 91,705. So let's unhighlight this sucker. See what it's worth. That's freaking songs in my head. All right. So synthetic, if you add up the synthetic up on her, what do we got? 28. Oh, it's crap. Crappity doodah. In the negative. Yeah, they're in the negative, man. Mavra's at 15. Mavro is at 19. So if Mavra's at 15, what do their covered calls look like? Let's see, 16, 1650, and 17. I don't have the percentage out of the money. You'll have to do that math yourself. But yeah, I'll eventually add it to the right here when I do have more preparation time. Do you think Ulti catches up to Misty in I didn't think so at first, but now, yes, there's no doubt about it in my mind. Unless MSTR decides to moon, I think Ulti's going to catch up. Why do you think I added a little daily coverage to my sheet? You guys didn't give me feedback on the Ulti coverage, by the way. At least not that I saw. Please show more love to YieldMax, Scott. Oh, Scott needs to... Oh. Please, you want Scott to show more love to YieldMax? I want to hear Scott top wins and biggest losses. When's the BMNR covered call being launched? Yeah, that's probably a J question. Hoo-wee! Hoo-wee! You know, you people and your requests. All right. Wait, it looks like they cashed out something. All right, they cashed out their synthetic. What's Robinhood at? Yeah, Robinhood's at 114. Their synthetic's at 105. So I know they had another synthetic there. So we'll have to go to the group income. But I'll tell you what the current synthetic is worth if that's what you want to know. Because, you know, I'm all about you guys and your requests. All right, so we got what? H2. We got to take out H3. And we're going to do plus the D-Duda 21. All right, so we'll take out the 20. Boom. 20.4 mil on the synthetic, and that's worth 643 per share. Again, let's check out the group's value. I would imagine that's going to be a freaking crazy number. They're part of what, Group C? Yeah, I got to pick up outstanding shares. Give me a second. I mean, damn, 690 per share. That's realized, recognized income. I know Group B is up next week, but when we get to Group C, man, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun one. So there's your Huey coverage. It's coming soon. Oh, new target funds. Yeah. See, I can't keep up anymore, man. I know there's plenty of other YouTubers that do keep up with that crap. I can't. I just can't do it anymore. It's too much. Average is 2166 since Misty lower. Yep. Do I need to be worried about SMCY? Well, the question is, do you need to be worried about SMCI? And I don't know. Next week, big payday. Yeah. Nvidia's going to be a good one. There you go. Thank you, brother. I can always rely on Brother AB to actually answer me. Some of you people, you know, you ignore my questions, but thank you. Brother AB says the Ulti coverage is welcome and appreciated. Moon, I don't know. I hope, Danny. Will Ulti recover from decline last 3 weeks? What do you mean? What? It's at 6, right? It's been at 6. How much did it go down? Let's see. Yeah, exactly. They closed those suckers out. Just know we don't have to close the synthetic to pay some of that for the distribution. See, you heard it here first. You know, I know you guys don't believe half the crap that I say, but you heard it here first. You're welcome, Scoreless Steve. Good morning, Life of Dividends. All right, we are now 948 people. We might as well wait until we get to 1,000. So if you're on X or YouTube, feel free to share the video as we cover some last-minute live Q&A with both myself and Scott here. Scott's not here visually, of course, but he's here via YouTube, you know, chatting away with us. You know, we're doing the worm, you know, we're just hanging out, talking about wrestling, you know, typical finance YouTube stuff. So, yeah, Ulti coverage is, there you go, Alan Sanders. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to keep that in the daily coverage unless we hear otherwise. We'll see. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I know it's early. Again, 7. Well, now it's 7:45. Now it's late. The day's half over. But you know, typically we're live at 6 or 6:30 a.m. every day, you know, as they say. So again, thank you all for being here. Any last minute questions? Anything options related, YieldMax related, spreadsheet related? Well, we're about to, you know, maybe I'll go 5 more minutes. It's really up to you guys if you have any questions. If not, I'm just gonna run away. You can add Hui too. Yeah, I know I can, but you know what? You guys, I'm leaving that on you guys. I'm not adding Hui until we hit 40,000 subscribers. So we'll wait for that number and then we will add Hui, because that's just how it is. I did say 50,000 for Ulti, by the way, but you got out of that one. So I figured I'd start covering Ulti, you know, going forward. Let's see. I think Ulti will rebound after this week's. Remember, Ulti does do covered calls, so they are KPD-do-da, right? Question, why not ask Jay to make the monthly income for each fund available on the YieldMax website, the monthly? Because probably no one cares about it, I'm guessing. Outside the people that watch this, they may care, but they don't even have to post the intraday trades. Why would they do even more work and provide the monthly income detail if they don't have to? You know what I mean? That's an administrative effort that is essentially, you know, money that they don't need to spend on. You know what I mean? So I'm just grateful that they post the intraday trades, you know, in general. But, you know, it's doubtful that they're going to do that. Maybe if that's something that competitors do, and that's something like tracking the flow, that maybe down the road. But as of right now, I don't see it. But then obviously that I wouldn't have to do my part. That'll put me out of business, right? Anyway, so more coverage on understanding margin is needed. Yeah, there's not much to understand though. It's really not as complicated as you think. The complicated part is how they calculate how much margin you get. That's the complicated part. But in general, like, I don't know. Well, you're right though. I mean, that'll be like a separate options live Q&A thing. You need to get my steps started for the day. Yeah, you got to listen on your walks and runs. That's what I do. I bring my phone now. I never used to bring my phone running, but now I listen to YouTube videos and Twitter spaces on the run. Vladi, love the Ulti coverage. My holdings are Misty, Ulti, LFGY. Awesome. Retire on dividends. Thank you so much for your option spreadsheet. It's been very helpful. Awesome. Good to hear. Yes, I shared my option spreadsheet in the Discord, free Discord, which, yes, it's still free, only because I have moderators who do most of the work. So if you're in the Discord, make sure to thank them, or else there would be no Discord. Scott, thanks for all your hard work and everything you do for us. Rocket Red Countdown. Oh, that's an emoji, I assume. Always had that question about the synthetic you just answered. Mark always makes it sound like we get distributions from synthetic. Thinkorswim has a great learning center explaining margin. Yeah, no, they got a lot of stuff, and I think there's always someone willing to help you too. Like, people, when you call your brokerages, they're actually pretty informative. If you want to ask them questions, they're actually pretty helpful sometimes. For full transparency, yeah, no, I get it, but if they don't have to, then we shouldn't worry about the cost basis of what we have Misty right now. I mean, you should always worry about your cost basis, but obviously it's not the same as other funds, you know, that you would normally, because you're getting paid out an aggressive distribution. So what happened to a fund of funds for the weekly payers? Oh yeah, then we talked about that, right? I don't know, man. Scott, will you ever discuss Granite Shares leverage ETF? I'm curious if cool. Yes, I mean, at some point I'm going to cover everything, you know, just here and there, just when there's a time, right? I look forward to my Wednesday morning distro email 6:50. Yeah, it's fun. I love going live too when I can. Question for Scott. Any news on the weekly fund of funds? There's no really news. I think he said it was a good idea, right? But I don't know if he got to ask Jay or Mike about it. Or should I say fund of funds for the weekly pairs? Yeah. Thank you, Scott. YMax, WMax, yeah. Do you still hold your phone while running and listen to your phone speaker? Yes, I do. I know. I got to get headphones. It'd probably be, but I don't like having I like to hear my surroundings, right? I like to listen, to think. This is why I never really wanted to bring the phone, but I actually don't mind holding it. It's not a big deal. So why waste the money on headphones that would probably fall out? Nikki, it really depends on the investment strategy. I'm needing cash for 7 years. Living expenses before Social Security. If you have, me too. Old school here. Earbuds could hurt ears. Yeah, exactly. Or the fallout. But all right. Yeah, Z-Dub. See. All right. I guess we're gonna call it a day, right? So as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow at the Group B guesstimate video. It's going to be a freaking fun ass time. We're going to guess. We're going to say, what the heck are they paying? We're going to guess, and we're going to say, meh. And then we'll do some Q&A again after that video. Again, we'll have fun. We'll have fun with it. Maybe Scott will show up again. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have questions, leave them down below. Outside of that, I got nothing else but a keyword. So what's the keyword today? I don't know. Scott, if you're here, you got a keyword for us. You're the leader. You're the leader here. So we will allow you to give the keyword. The keyword. He may have left though. Yay for tomorrow. Yay. Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day because Group B, man, they're whooping ass. There's gonna be some noise distributions there. Noise. All right. How noise? Noise. All right. PLTY, not so much, but PLTY again, they got some synthetic bank, bro. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Look at Nvidia, man, 294 mil. Good lord. So that's gonna be a fun one. All right. I don't see Scott's comments, so maybe he's either not here or he doesn't have a keyword for us. So we'll go with brother's keyword. What do you think, brother? Brother always has a good keyword. So if you made it this far in the video, guys, and you would like to prove it to myself, Scott, and everyone else here, you got to say the keyword. The keyword today is worm. Why worm? Well, we're doing the worm. Scotty Too Hottie worm, wrestling. Again, wrestling quotes. We always quote wrestling. Old school wrestling only, of course, not new school because I don't really watch it anymore. But, always good stuff. But, anyway, so Scotty Too Hottie, he does the worm in the ring, the worm where you jump up and down. You kind of do, I don't even know what you call it, but it's hard as hell. I've tried it. But yeah, that's the keyword today. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it on X and YouTube, by the way, we have over 1,000 viewers now. So we made it. We made it on a Saturday morning. All right, good. The keyword is worm. So type worm in the comments down below, and that way we know you are a freaking trooper, brah, and we appreciate it. All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for here live, and thank you all for watching after. I appreciate all of you, and thank you, Scott, for showing up too. I always appreciate you. I know it's bright and early, but I think you're an early guy like me, so it's a fun time. Drink coffee, listen to my yip yap, listen to the random music in the background, listen to singing, all that fun stuff. But again, thank you all for joining, and we will talk tomorrow. Oh, I may have a video come out later today, so stay tuned for that. Chico. All right, have a good day.